Hey, welcome back to the Infinite Woman Universe show. I'm your host, Angela, trauma healer and self-sabotage slayer. Today we are talking all about how to meditate. So if you struggle with meditation, this video is for you. I did take a little hiatus on doing full-blown universe shows for the last few weeks. I'm sure that you know that there's been eclipse season and Scorpio season and all of the full moons and new moons and all of the things. And I cannot lie to you, things have been wild. But I've had so many breakthroughs and so many aha moments that I'm actually really grateful for these moments to take place, and that I continue to heal and continue to integrate so that I can serve you at the best possible capacity. So I took a break and now we are back, and I really want to talk about how to meditate. And I want to talk about how to meditate because so many people struggle with it. I've talked to so many women in the last few months about how they struggle with meditation. They struggle to get their mind quiet. No matter what they do, their mind just can't get quiet. And I just hear a lot of this all the time. And so I really want to deep dive into guided meditation because there are so many misconceptions out there. Not only are there so many misconceptions out there, I feel like people teach it wrong. I didn't even know that that was possible, but from what I hear and what I gather and what I understand, I feel like it's not necessarily the best way to teach people how to meditate, okay? And before I go into sharing with you like how to meditate, I want to let you know that I was one of those people that struggled with meditation. I would journal. I've always been a journaler. I would seriously force myself to try to meditate for 5 minutes every single day, and I would just sit there and breathe. And I hated it, okay? I hated every second of it, okay? I wasn't very good at it. I couldn't get my mind to be quiet. My thoughts would wander all over the place. It was a disaster, okay? And I hated meditation. I hated it. I was not a fan of it. I didn't want to do it anymore. And even to the point where when I was working with coaches, I would have to lie down while I meditated so that I could allow myself to relax and allow myself to calm down and not think about how bad I was at meditating. So that's where I was at. Today I meditate and do hypnosis when I feel called to. It is not something that I practice every single day, because I don't feel like it's necessary for me. Because I have other practices in place that I feel like are more beneficial for me that I do. And so before we get into talking about how to meditate, I do want to let you know that it's important for you to do what's aligned for you. So just because someone swears by meditation doesn't necessarily mean that it's for you. But with that being said, you can't meditate for 7 days on and off and think, well, it's not working. The truth is just like anything else, meditation is absolutely a practice. So I recommend before you decide that this isn't for you, which is fine if you decide that, I would give it about 30 to 60 days of consistent practice before you decide whether or not this is an alignment for you. Okay, just because it's an alignment for you doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, doesn't mean it's going to come natural, doesn't mean it's not going to take a practice. It means that this is really meant for you, and the more you practice with it or practice it, it will become more natural and easy for you. So I want you to be aware of those things. Don't think that it's going to become natural for you because it's all of a sudden in alignment. You are the only one that can decide what's in alignment for you. I cannot tell you what's in alignment for you. Only you can decide that. If you don't know what alignment is, you can check out this video right here. I don't know which side it's actually going to be on, but you can check it out. I'll link it for you. I will also link a whole playlist of guided meditations here. And I want you to know that I've also been doing live guided meditations here on YouTube. So make sure you check those out. I will link that here for you. Okay, so we're like 5 minutes in. We're not going to do this like a normal universe show. I am just going to strictly talk about guided meditation so that you know how to meditate. There won't be any journal prompts. There's not going to be an activation at the end. I will leave you the latest guided meditation at the end so that you can check that out. But let's dive into meditation. Okay, let's dive into this. Okay, first and foremost, the main reason why you struggle with meditation has nothing to do with the thoughts in your mind and everything to do with the fact that you do not feel safe being present, slowing down, and having a quiet mind, okay? This safety plays a huge factor. If you do not feel safe within your body, safe in the present moment, and safe when your mind is not running a million miles per hour, meditation is going to suck for you. It's just going to suck for you. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be something that you hate. It's going to be something that you swear doesn't work for you. But I promise you that when you become safe within yourself and being present and your mind being still, then meditation becomes much easier. But if you struggle with safety, you are going to struggle with meditation. When I'm working with a potential client or clients are coming to me or we're having a session or people say certain things to me and they say, oh yeah, I struggle with meditation. I can't do it. It's not for me. It doesn't work for me. I know automatically that it has nothing to do with meditation itself and everything to do with safety. Safety is a huge piece, and I believe that safety over mindset is more important. So that means that when we're working together, one of my foundational pieces that we work on is safety. And we do that because your trauma and unhealthy childhood conditioning lives in your body. It does not live in your mind. So I want you to be aware of that when you're working with anybody. The whole point of working with somebody is to learn to come back home to yourself. It is not taught how to live outside of you. It is all about coming back home into your body. If you struggle with safety, one of my most popular guided meditations is actually about safety and resetting and rewiring your nervous system, which you can check out here. So make sure you check that out. So I want you to be aware that you struggle with safety because we try so hard to make our minds be quiet. And the reason why our minds are out of control when we go down to meditate is because we don't feel safe. And I want you to be aware of that. Okay, so let's say you do struggle with safety, that, you struggle with your mind being quiet. The thing is that you're going to want to practice meditation. You're going to want to practice meditation knowing that your mind is going to go wild during this time. The best way to help both your mind, your body, and your soul feel safe in this present moment and in meditation is to do it consistently at the same time every day. And this way your mind will know that, okay, we're going to be present in this moment. We're safe. We're protected. It's okay. And I want you to practice this like in increments. Don't think that you're going to go into a meditation for 30 minutes if you've never done it before, right? Or if you've never been able to get past 5 minutes. My recommendation and the recommendation of James Clear, who is the author of Atomic Habits, suggests that you start with 2 minutes because you can do 2 minutes. Who can't do 2 minutes, okay? So start with that. Again, I recommend 30 to 60 days before you decide whether or not this is really for you. But start small. Start with these 2-minute increments and then increase it to 5 and then increase it to 7 and then increase it to 10 and so on and so on and so on. This helps you build this practice, but it also helps you build this practice in bite-sized pieces, okay? This is going to be a huge component. I know that we've been conditioned to believe that you're going to do something, so you need to go all in right now. It is not one of those things. It is one of those things where you really have to build up into it, okay? Now, just because you've decided that you're going to meditate it for 2 minutes every single day for the next 60 days doesn't mean that your mind is going to magically be quiet. It doesn't actually work that way. Your mind is not going to magically be quiet. Yes, eventually that is your goal, to quiet the mind, but you cannot force your mind to be quiet when it's got all this stuff running around and it's never known how to be quiet. It's never known how to stop thinking. So your goal during meditation is not to force your mind to be quiet. It is to see the thoughts, observe them, and let them go. See the thoughts, observe them, let them go. See the thoughts, observe them, and let them go. When you get into the practice of doing this, number one, you put yourself in observation mode, which actually creates self-awareness, but it actually helps you train your mind to calm down, to become silent, to trust that you're safe. And again, you start to create this peace, this protection, this safety, just by simply allowing yourself to have these thoughts. Because when you fight the thoughts, it just gets worse, right? They get louder. You're wondering why you can't get your mind to shut up. You're wondering why you're thinking of all the crazy to-do lists that you didn't even remember that you had 20 minutes ago, but here it is in your mind. Or how you forgot to call somebody back because you're an entrepreneur and you're running a business and you're trying to force yourself to quiet your mind and be zen and shit. Yeah, when you try to fight your thoughts, it makes things worse. And so that's why I want you to allow the thoughts to come in, and you're going to see them, observe them, and let them go. See them, observe them, and let them go. Another piece that I want to talk to you about, which is so important, is breathing. Okay, breathing is a very powerful piece, okay? And during the meditations that I've tried, like guided meditations, they're always like, breathe deep in your belly, and you're trying to breathe deep in your belly over and over and over. And then you're thinking, wait, am I breathing correctly? Is my belly expanding? Am I doing this? Wait, what did they just say? Do I need to focus on, how do I focus on my breath coming out of my nose? How do I focus my breath coming in and out? The thing with that is that breathing deeply is super important. It is super important. It's super important for anxiety. It's super important for you to relax, come into peace, to allow stress to dissipate from your body. But the thing is that you don't naturally breathe so deep into your stomach that your whole body expands and then lets go. This is why it's super important for you to go with your natural rhythm of your breath. Okay? I know that there's so many guided meditations that are out there that are like, breathe deep and in and out, in and out, and in and out. And you feel like you're having a workout. The thing is that this isn't necessarily breath work. This is a meditation. And so it's important for you to know that it is really about going with the natural rhythm of your own breath. In the beginning of my meditations, we take 3 deep breaths. And really those 3 deep breaths are for me to get centered so that I can help you guide this journey that we're taking. That's essentially what we're doing. Yes, of course it helps you, but it also helps me. And that's why we take those 3 deep breaths. It helps you get centered. And breathing deeply is very powerful. We have been conditioned to not breathe from our belly, but to breathe from our chest. And that's actually what creates our anxiety. Now, there's a whole thing, before you get all crazy, there's a whole thing about anxiety, but that is a huge component to it. So you want to make sure that you are breathing deep from your belly, yes, but when you need to. And then you want to go back to the natural rhythm of your breath. The other thing that I want to tell you is tell you about meditation. Don't think that you're going to be able to jump into doing meditation on your own, to sit all zen-like for 2 minutes with your own breath and your own thoughts. I highly, highly recommend guided meditations. Whether or not they're mine makes no difference to me, but I recommend guided meditations that kind of follow these aspects. They follow these foundations, if you will, so that you don't feel obligated to perfectly do guided meditation, because meditation is a practice, just like journaling is a practice, just like healing is a practice, just like all of those things is a practice. So remember that guided meditation is absolutely a practice. And I don't know where we were going with that last part. I got a phone call from my daughter's school and I hit the stop button and totally lost my train of thought and all of the things. But so know that guided meditation is absolutely a practice. It's not going to be something that you get good at overnight. And you want to make sure that when you are listening to these guided meditations, that they kind of follow these foundations. Now, the way I'm sharing this with you is not the end all be all, but I have struggled with guided meditation. Another thing that I want to share with you about meditation, okay? Sitting and listening and breathing is very much a traditional sense of meditation. What I want you to know is that anything that allows you to release and feel centered and feel at peace is really meditation. For me, one of the best ways to meditate is to run. So I want you to think about those things that allow you to feel like you've totally released, you feel centered, and you are present in the moment, and you feel really at peace with yourself. That's considered meditation. So I don't want you to feel like you have to follow this sense of traditional meditation. If hiking works for you, if gardening works for you, then allow that to be your meditation and allow that to work for you. But if this is something that you truly want to practice, by all means practice, and make sure that you allow it to be a practice, which means some days you're going to be so good at it and some days you're going to suck at it, and that's completely okay. There could be a whole plethora of reasons as to why you sucked at it, right? I mean, it doesn't even matter. So these are the things that I want you to know about guided meditation or meditation in general. Don't beat yourself up because you don't feel like you're doing it right. It's impossible to really do it right anyway, or to do it wrong. So don't feel like I don't know how to do this, because you do know how to do this. It's just about realizing that there are these circumstances, that it is a practice, and that you will get good at it. And for some of you, this is going to be aligned for you, and some of you it won't. But the limiting belief that this doesn't work for you, it's a limiting belief and it's bullshit. And I also know that it's connected back to not feeling safe. So you want to make sure that you're aware of these things. And please use all the things that I connected throughout the videos so that you can come into safety, so that you can listen to guided meditation, so that you're practicing 2 minutes at a time, or whatever the case may be. Do what you're called to do. Always listen to yourself and come back to yourself. That's how you live on your terms. That's how you run a business your way, is always listening and connecting in with yourself. If you're not doing that, then you'll allow yourself to be guided wherever the next shiny object is. And that's definitely not what I want for you. So this is what I have for you today in the Universe Show. I will see you next week, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.